I've been hesitant to make this video. It's got a lot of layers. As a makeup and hair artist for film, it's something I know enough about to know that I don't know enough about it. What I mean is, the makeup team varies over the years and is larger than just the main faces you see in quick behind the scene looks. There is rarely a time where you can say with confidence that a specific makeup is done by a specific makeup artist, and usually it's only if the artist has posted it on their personal makeup page. I'm just going to do a few sweeping overviews and look at some moments that really stood out and some that fell flat, and it just comes from my perspective as someone who does this myself. And I'm going to try not to turn this into something where I just tell personal, this one time stories, but it's hard because I don't often get to talk about this shit. It's cool to look at a scene and then look at the parts and how it came to be. It's fun to see different types of makeups, from latex prosthetics to silicone prosthetics, fun with different types of blood and blood rigs and so forth. There's also a breakdown. Some makeup artists are also doing hair. Some blood is in fact controlled by the effects department or even set dressing. It's all a big mishmash of people. The entire film industry is like that, though. For every person you see on camera, there are 20 in Video Village watching the monitors and 30 more off somewhere else waiting to switch scenes. Supernatural is a treasure trove of effects, makeup, and blood. I'd be in heaven there. Most of them are just applied to the face. If they're done well, they're three-dimensional, built up with most likely two-part silicone. If they're done fast, then they're usually just sort of painted on. Both look good for quick shots, and sometimes you just don't have the time for a full build on a wound, especially if it's something that has to be applied in like 10 minutes in a big fight scene. Then you get to the heavier duty makeup injuries. Those ones are run prosthetics, sometimes fitted to the actor's face, a lot of times just off a generic mold. These are good for very intricate detail work, effects like swollen eyes, or things that just have to be replicated over and over. Then you have Pros-Aid transfers for things like the scars, things that you'll need a lot of, and they always must look the same, and takes a bit to make, but quick and easy to apply. And then you have the weird sort of effects, pulling skin off, squibs, tubing running under clothing for hellhound attacks. That's not to mention blood. Blood for the walls, blood for splatter effects, blood for tubing, blood for running down their bodies, edible blood for their mouths, Kryolan eye blood for the eyeballs, acrylic blood pools for locations that don't want to spend 7 years mopping blood off a white tile. Blood is something that takes a fair amount of thought. Every situation can call for a different type of stage blood, different type, color, viscosity. Not to mention, you have to be aware of how it's being color corrected. If editing team is going to color grade the film to be more blue, your blood best be on the orange side or it's just going to look purple. And then, of course, I know y'all want me to talk about the series finale, specifically Sam in the series finale as he ages. Let's skip over whatever face Jared is making here, because I want to say that's like 40% of the problem. This wig. I absolutely guarantee you, the person who put this wig on him knows. They knew then, they hated it then, and they absolutely cannot watch this scene now. I've been there. Here's what happened, I guarantee it. The breakdown of which days they're filming which scenes came out maybe 2 weeks before they film. I've gotten television scene breakdowns as late as 4 days before we film, and sometimes they change scene order. Hair person gets a script breakdown, probably says that they're filming that car scene right at the end of the day. They think, alright, we'll age their hair the normal way, we'll use specific hair makeup, keep the natural base, build from there, and it almost always looks good. Then surprise. However long they have warning, this car scene is now being shot in the middle or beginning of the day due to some unforeseen scheduling conflict or location needs. And now you can't do the hair with makeup because you'll never get it out for later scenes where his hair isn't gray. Well, crap. Cool. Now you have to get a wig. Except it's COVID. There aren't any wig stores open. Cool. Now you're buying a lace front wig, sight unseen, and hoping it approximates the hair you're trying to do. And keep in mind, the less time you have, the more you'll have to settle for whatever's going to even get delivered in time. Roll the dice. That wig is coming maybe 1 or 2 days before it gets slapped on the actor's head. You better hope it's great because you're not getting another one. And then boom, you open it. Shit. Awesome. Now, on top of whatever hair work and possibly makeup you're doing for the days leading up to this, you're trying desperately to make this wig as not sucky as possible. You're adding makeup to it, you're trying to trim it, you're hoping against all hope it styles, and in the end, you get what you get. You cringe, you throw it on there, and you hope when the director says, "This is just a quick scene, not even that important," they weren't straight up lying to your face. Yeah, I've been there. It sucks. But also, seriously, what the fuck is this face? When we go to Sam's deathbed, the wig is much better. It lays down where it should, it's properly wispy. They probably ordered this one well in advance, knowing it'd be needed. I'm not great at clocking a wig just from its look, but if I had to guess, I would say a Him by Hair You Wear style sharp or possibly daring in color M56S. Could be a lot of different ones, but that's my best guess. Not important. The makeup is on point. Aging makeup is widely considered the hardest makeup to do believably. The wrinkles here are great. I can't tell if there's any part of this that's prosthetics or if it's all just stipple work. Beard looks great. I like the touch of leaving his natural sideburns and just working some makeup into them. All in all, it's just good. And that's just the theme of supernatural makeups. They're, for the most part, just good. Anyway, hope that wasn't too long-winded or boring for y'all. I may delve back into this at some point, but I didn't want to get too hyper-focused, and I, for the most part, managed to avoid talking about all the similar makeups I've done. And furthermore, I managed not to get super fixated on the EMT and me being like, well, you see, from this mode of injury, the bruising is just all wrong. Which I do too much on sets, mostly to directors' faces as they go, no, I don't like how this looks, and I'm like, trust me, I've seen this pipe to the face in the past. That's where it breaks. But anywho, if you want to listen to me blabber on about Supernatural some more, stick around and subscribe, and throw a like up there while you're here. I'll see y'all next week.